Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today is the limited edition exclusive for STAMPtember 2025 from Whimsy Stamps called Basically Boo. I created this super sweet little Halloween card using shades of pink, orange, and black. One of my favorite color combinations to use in card making and paper crafting, since I don't really decorate with these colors, but it gives me the ability to play with them because I really do love how they look. I started out by stamping the image from Basically Boo on some Neenah 110-pound weight white cardstock using intensified black ink from Hero Arts, and then I'm coloring in with some of my favorite shades of Olo marker. I've listed the marker shades down in the description box below the video here on YouTube, as well as over on my blog post. You can get there by clicking the link in the description. I wanted it to be very bright, kind of pastel-y with that nice bold black. So I am starting in the center since I wanted my jack-o'-lantern to be orange, and that's going to make the letters on either side more pink, obviously. So I kind of get that nice distinction in color, especially with the O being a lot of solid black. This allows us to have the B in Boo be nice and pink, and then we kind of have that pink, orange, black that I was talking about. Yes, I overthought this way too much. Then, because this card is focused on Boo, I thought we needed multiple ghosts. So I did stamp the ghost from the set 3 times, and we are going to incorporate all 3 of these sweet little happy Casper type ghosties into our card. I've also stamped the bats and the spider. This is pretty minimal coloring today. Really, the only big coloring, and I am using air quotes for big, is the Boo. And I want to make sure all the little icons there in the letter O have some color as well, especially since it's a lot of solid stamping, I would say, and I'm not going to do a ton of coloring for the ghosts. We are going to use some cool grays. I know I talked in, I believe, the Newton's Nook video for this month about warm grays and cool grays and kind of my philosophy. Warm grays I use more for like critters and such, and cool grays I use a lot for like clothing and whatnot, but I actually really liked how the cool grays looked with the pastel colors of the rest of my coloring here. It's all kind of personal preference, and absolutely use whatever coloring medium you like. I also love a card that you color on, but you're not spending all day. You know what I mean? There are 2 options that you could really do this with on this card. The other big Boo in this set, there's 3 kind of color in type of Boos. The ghost, lots and lots of different ways to customize your sentiment. I also love that. I love a set that is not, you know, so specific that it can only be for one thing. For example, this card would work great. I have a child with an October birthday. I have a nephew with an October birthday. So well, he wouldn't want this pink card. I can tell you that already. But I have lots of people that I could send a birthday card to in October that this would work for, if that makes sense. Also, you can totally make it Halloween, so make it what you want. After my coloring is done, I am going to take a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel of Simon Says Stamp cotton candy cardstock, and I am going to take a couple of the Boo sentiments, the smaller Boo sentiments in the set, and stamp them all over the panel to create a little bit of this shadowed effect in the background. You're going to see how this works. We're starting from the base and building up, basically. Then I'm going to go around the edges with Kitsch Flamingo as well. I stamped with Kitsch Flamingo, I inked with Kitsch Flamingo, and then we're going to take this with the Droopy web embossing folder, and we are going to emboss the spider web into this so that the raised area of the web is on the front, like an embossing folder. We're not doing the debossed look. Then we're going to take a white ink, pigment ink pad, and we are going to do a direct to paper technique where we're very gently rubbing it against the raised areas so that those raised areas are catching the ink, and that brings our spider web to life, giving the inking and the stamped boos that background effect. Then we're going to take some Raven Spellbinders splatter, and we are going to add a little distress to our background. That's going to tie into that pink, black and white and orange theme we've kind of got going. And then we are going to pop up our images. Now I have layered my images, and off camera I went ahead and put foam adhesive on the back of these, and I have removed the backing paper so that I can just pop this directly onto my background. Then we're going to take a black jelly roll pen, and we are going to add detail to the eyes on the ghosts, and then the eyes, nose, and mouth on the jack-o'-lantern. Something that I think is so important is making faces pop if there's faces on your cards, and this is a really simple and easy thing you can do. If your black somehow gets into the white highlight of the eyes, make sure and just let this dry completely, take a white jelly roll pen and just go back over that and kind of clean it up and fix it. That is what I did for my card here today. But see how the faces just kind of come to life? I love those little ghosts. And I also took my light pink from coloring in on the word boo for the cheeks on the ghost. I forgot to mention that. Our little spider is going to be sitting kind of on the letter B right in front of that first little ghost. We're popping up happy day to you, so it reads happy boo day to you. I think it's so cute. And this is cute. This is spooky, what I call spooky cute for Halloween instead of spooky scary. And I think it works for lots and lots of people this way. And you could totally change up the color scheme to make it a little bit more traditional. I love using like blues and purples and blacks, so you could make this really moody, very much darker. I think greens and blacks would be amazing. There's a lot of things you can do. Next, I am adding some Google eyes to the spider, and I know you're going to ask me the size of these. These are old ones I've had in my stash forever. They're 4mm size, and I love them. They work for all the little things. Then we're going to add a scattering of glue throughout and add some opal gems for that added little touch of sparkle. I'm using my embellishment wand to easily pick these things up and pop them in place. The main part of our card today is centered kind of in the top half, leaving a lot of white space, but that white space, and I say it's in air quotes, is not wasted because it's still part of the design. We have the beautiful web and the background there, and I absolutely love that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for the STAMPtember 8th exclusive limited edition from Whimsy Stamps called Basically Boo. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.